Ellen McCauley at Prado. I prepared this whole meeting on perfectionism and how you're supposed to have some progress, not perfection. And I've told you many times that I really believe in the power of the 12-step programs. I think that they rely on the higher power, rename our higher power, and the 12-step programs have a phrase, progress, not perfection. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make some progress in our weight loss journey, in our faith journey. And it's so funny because I was away from the office all day yesterday at the Hilton Hotel, the Hilton Inn or whatever it is, for this conference. And then I was up at OCC for the Elder Law Fair today. So I run back to the office at 2, and I have a desk calendar someone gave me. And I flipped off Tuesday and Wednesday and got to Thursday, and Thursday's was progress, not perfection. It's one of those calendars that have sayings, and I thought, isn't that funny that that's the topic? But here, I did this whole topic, and yet I still fall victim to it. I was gone all day yesterday. I get back very, very late in the day. I get a text from someone saying, I need my presentation for today's meeting on a flash drive. Do you have it? Now, this person never asked me for the presentation on a flash drive. I said, no, I emailed you the presentation. And they're like, well, I need it on a flash drive. So all of a sudden I'm thinking, that's my fault. I should have put it on a flash drive. I think I'm supposed to be a mind reader. I think I'm supposed to say, oh, what does this person want? They want it on a flash drive. How do I know? They didn't tell me, but I started beating myself up. Oh my gosh, it's supposed to be on a flash drive. I made a mistake. I didn't put it on a flash drive. I was just mulling. I was telling Bob I should have done it. How did I know? Oh my gosh. So then I go, do you have a flash drive? Yes. I emailed you the presentation. Can you email it again? I emailed it again. And I had to walk them through how to put it on a flash drive, which isn't that hard. So it all got worked out. But what didn't get worked out is the feeling in the pit of my stomach. I felt a little sick about this. I thought, Ellen, let's work on this together, because no one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfection at all. We're not saints. The point is that we're willing to grow spiritually, physically, mentally, and we have to progress. And we claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. We claim progress in our weight loss journey rather than perfection. But don't use it as an excuse. Don't come in next week and gain 2 pounds and say, progress, not perfection. Because we don't want to use it as an excuse. We want to say, you know what, speaking of which, all right, this is my, 3rd week on keto. And first week I gained 2 pounds, second week I gained 1 pound, and this week, oh my gosh. I said, this is it. My pants were loose. People were like, you losing some more weight there, Ellen? And I said, yeah, I knew it. I felt good, felt my stomach was grumbling. I weighed in today, gained 1 more pound. So I said to Bob, is it all in my butt? Where's this weight going? I don't understand it, how I can feel so good and gain 4 pounds. So am I going to throw the baby out with the bathwater? Not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the keto diet yet. I might give it a little more time, but the point is, the progress that I made was I ate different foods that tasted good. I gave it a try. I learned about something new. Was I perfect at it? Yeah, I kind of was. But did it make the results that I wanted? No. Okay. Also, I like this. If you're an alcoholic, progress doesn't mean I only drank a 6-pack instead of a 12-pack. If you are in Pray It Off, progress isn't I only had half a pizza, not the whole pizza. Or I only ate 1 row of cookies, not 2. Maybe you see that as progress, but not so much. We just want to know that we're trying our best. And what's interesting about perfectionism is so often, now this is something that I don't suffer from. I am a hardcore perfectionist, but I do not suffer from procrastination. Now who does? are my children, 2 of them. 2 of my children are perfectionists, and they suffer from procrastination because they can't do it as perfect as they want, so they don't do it at all. They're going to do it, they're going to do it. Now the only area that I suffer from that procrastination has been in some of the clutter and the papers that I've put in bins. But Bob and I got rid of 8 bins last week. Let's hear it for Ellen and Bob. 8 bins gone out of the house. Yeah, good. Not paper, but other stuff. I'll get to the paper. I'm procrastinating about the paper. But the thing is, we have a lot of pray it off procrastinators in this group. We think, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. All right, I didn't do it in session 13, 14, 15, keep going to 23, but boy, am I going to do it in 24. And it's good to have that kind of optimism. That's called hope. But how can we turn that into a reality? One of the outcomes of perfectionism and procrastination is anxiety. You get very anxious about things that you feel you're not doing, that you should be doing. And one of the reasons many of us are perfectionists is how we grew up. I've shared many times that I had a very chaotic upbringing. You know, my dad, I loved him, but he was a drinker. We never knew, is Dad going to take the paycheck and use it for drinking, or are we going to pay the bills? There was a lot of anxiety in that house, and I had to toe the line to make my mom's life as calm as possible. I'll get on the high honor roll, that'll make my mom happy. I'll be very popular, that'll make my mom happy, because my mom was unhappy, because my dad was bad, and I loved him. I loved the guy, I did. But the thing is, when you are trying so hard to be perfect, it really can have severe consequences, and one of those areas for me was my weight. I could only be perfect in so many areas, and so in that one area, that was my area. Give me a hot fudge, give me some beers, give me this, give me that, because I can't be totally perfect. And with God, with faith, He's saying to me, Ellen, you don't have to be perfect. I love you. I'll help you with your weight. I'll help you get over that. And I've come to terms with so many things. My dad had an illness. That was an illness. And I understand that. But so many of us are 60, 50, 40, and we're still dealing with that spiritual baggage we had growing up, and we need to Marie Kondo it. We need to say, I'm going to let you go. I don't have to be perfect. I'm taking tomorrow off, my first day off since last year. And Bob has a day off. He said, Ellen, can you take the day off? I said, I can't. I got too much work to do. And then he said to me, and Bob really is perfect for me, because he said, you know, Ellen, aren't you always going to have too much work to do? And I said, you're right, Bob. And he goes, you know what we can do if we take the day off? We can do X, Y, Z. And I said, well, that sounds really good. And I said, you know what? I'm taking it off. And it feels good, because the perfect Ellen would say, I got to be at work. I got to be there. I got to work, 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 work. And now I'm going to say, I can still be perfect and have a day off. Also, we have a fear of disapproval. And that comes with boundaries and perfectionism. If I'm the perfect grandmother, I'll never say no to babysitting my grandchildren. If I'm the perfect daughter, I'll never say no if my mom needs me to do something. If I'm the perfect husband, wife, whatever, I will never say no. I will never build boundaries. We need to take care of ourselves. We just learn how to say it nicely. I want to watch those grandchildren so badly, but tonight I have my group. How about tomorrow night? How about Saturday? Perfectionists, also sometimes called type A personalities. Oh, type A's gotten a very bad reputation. Oh, they're type A. But I'll tell you who you want in your foxhole, type A personality. Someone who will fight to the end and help you get things done. But usually the type A's don't usually live long enough to get out of the foxhole. Also, we need, oh, this is so funny. Also, people who are perfectionists sometimes retreat. I had such high-pressure jobs that for 10 years I had my own business. I retreated from the world into my own business. But guess what? I sold on eBay full-time, and you got positive or negative or neutral feedbacks. That became my perfectionism all over again. When I stopped after 10 years, over 14,000 positive feedbacks and not one negative. Because that's how I define myself. I can't get a negative. I gotta be perfect, perfect, perfect. Would it have been so bad if I had 13,990 positives and 10 negatives or whatever? But I measured myself by that. That is not a good way to live. You need to say, it's just too much pressure on yourselves. But there's steps you can use to overcome this. We can change our perspective. Bob helped me change my perspective about tomorrow. How can I can take a day off, the work will still be there, and realize that we're constantly improving. Till the day we die, we can learn and grow and experience things. And it feels so good to say, I made a mistake. It's funny, a couple weeks ago, I was scheduling someone, I do all the outreach. I said, I'll put it on the calendar. And it was June 6th, but I put it down for May 6th. So she went to the outreach and it wasn't happening. So I said to her, she called, she goes, what's going on? There's nobody here. And I looked at the calendar, I said, oh my gosh, it's June 6th. I'm so sorry. So she got back and I said, I am so sorry. I put the wrong date on the calendar. I made a mistake. I really am sorry. And she said, no, I think it was my fault. She was just as bad as me. She started blaming herself. She goes, I should have paid attention. It was my fault. And I thought, wow, I'm not the only one. She's over there blaming herself. And so I got a big kick out of that. Here I am trying to say I made a mistake, and she was saying she made a mistake. Also remember, no one is perfect. Let's all say this. I am not perfect. I am not perfect. Oh, doesn't that feel good? I'm not perfect. And so often we say, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. And I believe it. I can honestly say it. I am not perfect. I believe I'm not perfect. But boy, do I try to be. And that's where we can get in trouble. Be your own best friend. Say, Ellen, you're great. I love you. You try so hard. You work so hard. You really do a good job. Really, try to love yourself. Remind yourself of all the good things you've achieved. And one of the things is, what happens if people laugh at you? This is going to sound interesting to you. I lectured a lot at Holy Family from 97 till I think around 2017, and then I stopped lecturing. And I thought, well, if people come up to me and say, how come you're not lecturing? I might change my mind, but no one ever did. But the reason I stopped lecturing is because it made me so nervous, because I was so afraid I'd make a mistake. I was so afraid that if I read the Bible verse and stumbled over a word, that I could never deal with it. I would be so upset. Maybe people would laugh. Maybe they'd be upset about it. I have sat in church and I've heard people read the wrong reading. They were on a different week and I'm like, and you're afraid you're going to stumble over a word? They're doing the wrong reading. I have heard people call, instead of charioteers, they called it, and I'm laughing. I shouldn't do this because that's what I don't want people to do at me. The words were chariot and charioteers, and she called it shirts and churteers. I mean, I've heard people say everything at Mass, and I quit lecturing because I was afraid I was going to make a mistake. The point is, should you quit something because you can't be perfect at it? No. And I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to sign up again to lecture in the fall. If I make a mistake, so what? Not everyone will love you, and that's okay. And that's hard for me because I kind of want everyone to love me. I really do. And when I was in high school, I don't know if anyone ever had those slang books where you would write in a slang book, like they'd put your name, Ellen McCauley, and then they'd pass it around and people would write, oh, I love her, she's so funny, she's my best friend, and then they had everybody's name. So it passed around, it got back to me, and I'm reading, there must have been 50 in there, all of them, got down to 49, and Dee Dee Dunn wrote, can't stand her. I had 49 people acting like I walked on water, but Dee Dee Dunn, look at me, Dee Dee Dunn, are you out there, Dee Dee? She wrote, can't stand her. I went through the whole high school trying to find Dee Dunn. I finally found her. Dee Dee, what have I ever done? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you can't stand me. What did I do? I'm sorry. She goes, what are you talking about? I go, you wrote in the slime book you can't stand me. She goes, oh, I got sick of reading all that stuff. Everybody, oh, love her, love her, love her. I got sick of reading all that, so I thought I'd add something funny. I go, so you really do like me? She's like, you're all right. You know, but here I was, so worried about one person. This is what you're dealing with here as a facilitator. I'm stopping right there, Bobby.